you recommend, okay, so let's go ahead and ping that one up on the screen here. Do you recommend dailies when doing current state analysis needs, prior, future state requirements, and design? Well, it goes back to me. I just say can you make the work collaborative, right? And for things like needs analysis and even requirements, I certainly can think of ways to make the work collaborative, which means I would want them to come together at some regular frequency. Daily seems like a reasonable one because that's how we're going to coordinate our days, hopefully, and work the collaboration. If this is not collaborative work, right? If you're decided only one person's working requirements, you got one product owner going off meeting with stakeholders and sequential interviews, I don't think I really need a daily to figure that one out, right? I don't need to collaborate the work. Any comments on that one, Jenny?
But you might,
Yeah,
well,
I
you
mean,
might have different people in that room, right? Just in this particular case, it might be a broader audience. Right?
Well, I'm not here to perform before an audience. I'm here to coordinate my work effort to integrate constantly.
I understand, but when you're talking about doing current state analysis of something that's going on, right? If we're
I might have daily meetings to do the work.
Right? Yeah, I don't know if we're talking about wanting to have a daily scrum or a daily stand-up or a daily Kanban here. The question to me is kind of a question I would say, I don't want to answer that question because I do not understand your state enough. I don't understand your situation enough. Right? If you had posted that question and said, we're using Scrum as part of this, then the answer is probably yes, and you should figure out how to make the work collaborative too, because Scrum wants the work to be collaborative. If the work isn't collaborative in nature, either we should be looking at how to decompose the work differently to increase the collaboration, or perhaps if it is fundamentally not collaborative at all, we should be talking about something different that we should be using, maybe something like Kanban instead of using Scrum. But I don't know. I don't understand the situation enough. And I think it would behoove us to say, figure out the communication activities and the frequency at which it is useful to have those activities and meet as often as is useful for collaborating around the work and getting the work done.
Which sort of brings up.
I was going to say that when I read Jim's question here, I'm thinking more about maybe like product marketing people who are
so there's
ahead of requirements, ahead of design, and they're saying to themselves, we got to do this analysis, we got to do a needs analysis, and this, we were going to talk about this when we talked about the adapt part of this thing, is this necessarily non-software applications. Maybe this is somebody who says, we got to do all this collection, and it requires a lot of collaboration, a lot of people going away, coming back, bringing things in, doing that kind of thing. Can you adapt the notion of a daily into that kind of environment?
So here's, to me, the bottom line. The daily, as we were talking about it in our agile environments, even to Kanban, it means that we had some sort of plan, some sort of expectations, and we're checking to see if those expectations are matching reality and how do we need to adjust to deal with the reality that we're getting. That's different than saying, do we work together? Well, maybe you should have daily working sessions where you work on your current state and integrate pieces together. And during the day, outside the daily, hopefully team members are getting together to work together to build things. But it's not to be a status meeting. It's not to be a saying, are you done with this? Are you done with this? Are you done with this? Kind of meeting. It was not supposed to be that. It was supposed to be this idea that I've got some sort of understanding going on, and we got to make sure that this thing that we based on speculation is actually playing out in real time. And do we need to make adjustments to that plan or that workflow or whatever it is to actually get it to go where we need to go because of our commitments?
And a moment in time for like the three of us to talk about what we need from each other to be accomplishing that today, right? Yeah. Earl, I'm going to need this in the afternoon to help make sure our glide path still looks good. I will say, okay, this is me getting on my personal little favorite hobby horse.
Go for it. Ride that horse.
That comment to me screams for like program level Kanban.